Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Big Brother off-season podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Armstrong, and we are here today in this extra long off-season of Big Brother as we await the premiere of Big Brother 25 to draft some more Big Brother things. And for this draft, we're going to be doing something a little out there, a little different. We're going to be drafting first boots of Big Brother. Who can draft the best team of first boots to win over the audience? That is the question posed to us tonight. And with me to do so is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Very good. This is a entirely unhinged list of people that we are going to be drafting. So buckle in. I'm excited.
Also with us is Chappelle. Chappelle, how you doing?
I'm good. I am very excited to figure out who the hell these people are. I've seen the list and I am foggy at best. So this is going to be a good time.
Yes. It'll be interesting once we get past the first few, I think, for this one.
I'm pretty sure.
With us as well is Sasha. How you doing, Sasha?
I'm here. Vibes only, baby, because I was drafted 2 hours ago for this podcast. Yes. So I just want to make it clear that I will be flopping, but I hope that the BB Twitter is on my side. Because listen, I've already fought one first boot on Twitter, so I'm ready for the others. Let's do it.
Oh boy. Fighting first boots on Twitter.
You should have been the first person on this podcast. I forgot about that.
I didn't forget. I was in that fight.
I think we all were in that fight.
As a family.
I had my popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, to be noted, Sasha is a last minute replacement. Like many players on Big Brother, actually, last minute replacements. So
my last name is Joseph. It works.
Yes, exactly. Well, we do have the results from the previous draft. It was the Big Brother Twist draft, and the winner of the Big Brother Twist draft was Mari.
Hey.
In first place. I believe my team was in second place. I think it was actually a close one for a little while, but I think she kind of pulled away at the end. So Mari takes that one home. But here today, we are talking about first boots. And first boots are, they can be kind of tricky to determine depending on what you believe to be the first boot. So the criteria here has to be a little specific. So what we determined was a first boot is basically the first person evicted from Big Brother under the normal game, whether it's a twist or a vote or whatever. Like Big Brother approved. They left the game. They did not. They were not ejected. They did not quit. The first person to be regularly removed from the house, not outside of the rules. That is kind of how we are going to frame this one. So that's the rule set. Do we have any issues with this rule set?
Possibly.
Look,
okay, I'm just saying, I remember it differently in my mind sometimes. You know, there's several people who I just don't consider a first boot. You know what I'm saying? Like they lasted a little bit longer into the game. We'll talk about that with several different people who, yeah, there was a person who's probably a little bit more memorable than the second boot that went home first. And so I think that we're going to come across that a few times. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you're like, I don't remember that guy being first, it's because they weren't. But for our criteria, yeah, they are. And so maybe my choices would have been different had we gone with just who left the game first. I guess I'll say that.
Chappelle really wants Justin.
I'm just saying, listen, we should hear him out.
Oh, God.
We should hear him out or you out about.
Not me. I'm not going to incriminate myself. I'm just saying.
I think it's telling something about you.
I just want to hear both sides. That's all. Production fell away, but everybody didn't.
Here is the list. If you're watching the video, we have the list up here of available picks. We are not including OTT or celebrity. We are including Will Mega from Big Brother 1. So he is going to be our 24th
No.
Will Mega over cornbread being on this list?
You know, it felt like that. I mean, Will Mega is the first boot, so you know you kind of got to have Will Mega, I think. Honestly, the hardest one for me was Pooch, considering he really feels like a second boot.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you have people here who left day 1 and people here who what did Pooch leave like day 24?
Pooch, I believe, left day 16.
Dear God.
And Will Mega, hey, he lasted 17 days. So, you know, yeah. So Pooch was the toughest one because there was like a full eviction that got canceled. But Paloma left the game of her own volition, or so it seemed. So that one was a weird one, but we're counting Pooch as the first boot there. So that's the list. And next, we have to determine the draft order. So, look, there's no expectations. Some of these questions are hard. So, you know, I wouldn't expect anybody to get a perfect score. We have 4 questions. The person who scores the best will get to pick their place in the draft order as we move through the top scorers here for trivia. The first question we have, and by the way, all of the answers will be the name of a first boot. So that is what we've got going on here. First one, which first boot has spent the most amount of days in the house? Which first boot has spent the most amount of days in the house total?
Oh,
Totally
total.
Forget
Oh,
my pen and paper.
I almost let that one hang on you. I saw the confused faces. I was like, all right, I'll elaborate.
Yeah, I was like, it could be between 2 people at least.
Ask the question one more time.
Which first boot has spent the most amount of days in the house total?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, damn.
I have the answers between.
Show me the list one more time.
Look at the Excel spreadsheet.
I already changed my answer.
Just show me the list. Let me see it.
Damn. I'm trying to figure out averages, but I can't.
Okay, I got you.
It's not. It's total.
No, I know. Sorry.
Yes.
You asked me to do math question 1. Okay, I just want that to be known.
All right.
Okay, let me just write something down.
Another paper.
I'm gonna need. Oh, Chappelle's looking for a pen.
Chappelle.
I don't know if this is.
You can write your answer on a knife if you need to.
With
just
the knife.
do it on your phone.
Use the knife on the wall.
Anyway, it's fine. That's it.
All right.
Man.
Answers, please.
I don't know if this is correct. Vibes only.
We got Allison and 2 Davids. Matt is correct.
Allison, boo! Tomato.
Allison, who made it to the final 2 in season 4, and then was the first boot in All Stars. Beats out Keisha, who made it to the final 4 in Big Brother 10. And then was the first boot in All Stars.
Listen, I didn't know if Camp Comeback,
For the record, I also had that as my first answer.
Yeah.
And then
Camp Comeback threw me off. That's why. Damn.
I was never
another person being frustrated by Camp.
I believe it was a total of 94 or 93 days for Allison, something like that.
Okay.
I did not write it down. Okay. Next question. Who was the youngest first boot? Who was the youngest first boot? We were talking at the time they were booted, not currently.
At the time they were first booted.
Oh, no, it's not.
Some of these people could be 30 or 50. Just don't know. Who the hell is that?
Oh my God.
Wait.
That person sounds young.
I think it's this person. Yeah, I think.
Okay. Do we have answers?
Yeah.
Wait, last 2 letters.
All right. Answers, please. Sasha wrote Carol. Matt wrote Amanda. Chappelle wrote Brayden. And Sasha is correct.
Yes, I had looked this up before.
Carol was the youngest at 21 years old. Youngest person to be evicted first.
Thank you, Big Brother Wiki.
Okay. Only one first boot has been evicted by a tiebreaker vote. Who is it?
Oh my God.
Okay, this was not on there. Oh, tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell?
Ready?
You just Googling.
No, I'm not.
Sasha.
You can look at
Sasha.
my notes.
Sasha, please. It's not that important. Dear
I
God.
took notes. I want to
It's
make
an
it
open note
clear.
quiz. I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm looking at my notes. I'm not looking at the Big Brother Wiki. I'm just looking at names. I promise. If I
All
cheat, I'll
right.
be honest. I don't care.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm
Vibes
gonna
only,
need an
baby.
answer.
You got to put the list back up.
Oh, sorry. Just give me go.
That's a
List
reveal.
up.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, let me cheat off of you then.
This looks. This feels.
You know what?
All
I feel
right.
like I would have remembered if it was before then.
Answers, please.
Okay, hold on.
Sasha.
Okay, whatever. It's wrong. Anyway, we're fine. This is wrong.
Matt says Braden.
I put
and
Amanda.
That is correct.
Great.
Braden.
I got it right last time. Last round.
I just wanted to say Amanda's name.
Braden was evicted by
Oh,
Jesse's
God.
tiebreaker. So
Jesse.
the current scores: Matt with 2 points, Sasha with 1, Chappelle with 0.
I have 1 point. That's all that matters.
Zero.
Final
is
question:
wrong.
which first boot was referred to as the Dawn?
You must be joking.
What are these people really walking around
What?
with the Dawn as their title?
How
The
how can you be
Dawn.
the Dawn and be the first boot? You were gone. Oh,
that's
that's
why they were the first boot.
embarrassing. Who was cocky? Let's see the list.
The
I'll pull up the
Dawn.
list one more time.
Yeah,
thank
who would call
you.
themselves that?
Who was it?
Oh.
Ooh, okay. This is wrong, but I would like to drag this person one more
Ah,
time. So unless I can think of someone else,
who
All
I have my
right.
answer
is
written
this?
down.
Answers, please. Chappelle says
Oh,
Mike.
Sorry.
Matt says Brian. Sasha says Jace. Chappelle is correct.
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Levinsky
I got one.
from season 5 was
I
referred to as the Don, the Godfather.
could not point this man out of a lineup. I need to, don't know who I just voted for, but I'm happy that I got the answer right.
Sam in the chat. This is the one thing I saw when I was looking up people.
The Dawn.
All right, so that means Chappelle and Sasha are tied at 1 point each. I'm going to give them a tiebreaker question.
Yes.
No.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike Wazowski.
Oh God. But I shouldn't have gone for the meme.
How many first boots have been evicted unanimously? Closest to the answer without going over.
Oh, you. Why didn't I do? I actually should have done that math.
List, please. I just need to process of elimination some of these people out. Okay.
Yes.
Unanimous.
How many have been evicted unanimously?
And so many of these people. Oh Lord.
Who the hell are these
All right.
people? Ain't no
Let's
way.
get some.
I think I'm gonna
Let's
go
get some guesses.
nonsense. Okay, I have one. Vibes only. Let's do it.
All right. Answers, please. Sasha says 8. Chappelle says 3. The answer is 6.
Oh,
Wait, so I win.
Chappelle
Yeah.
gets the tiebreaker point.
I wasn't sure if
tomato.
I was supposed to answer.
Tomato.
That's fine.
Wait,
That's fine.
can you
You-
do
you're
you know
already
the
ahead.
6? Taryn, who are the 6? Do you know?
Oh, off the top of my head.
No, I thought you had the list.
Amanda was. That's the only one I know.
I just guessed. I have no clue.
I should have gone more.
Oh yes, and I did not count the soul votes to evict. That's
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Redo the question.
It changes
kidding.
nothing
Like
for me. I'm
I
still
knew.
picking 3.
It's the hamsters all over.
I don't think
again.
I don't think one person can be unanimous. Can they? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Um.
Who
Okay.
was?
Unanimous.
So Matt, you are going to choose your order in the draft first. What position would you like to be in?
Can I ask a clarifying question? If
Sure.
Do you know? Don't roll your eyes at me, Mr. Chappelle.
I didn't roll. Stop looking at me.
Stop that. Last round, if I picked first, do I also pick first in the last round? Do you happen
Last
to
round,
know
you will
that?
pick last, I believe.
Oh,
Last
he's
round I
snaking
picked
it.
last.
Yeah, it's snake draft. There's going to be 24 total.
That is. Are we sure? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
1,
check the
2,
maths.
3, 4,
Oh,
5,
Sam is
6.
oh
7.
my god. Sam is gonna
Oh, it's 8
yell.
rounds.
Let's move.
Ugh, that's tough.
8 rounds.
It's 6 rounds.
6 rounds.
I was like, I don't think that makes
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, damn, you're right. That
Matt is taking this
complicates it.
so serious. Shouldn't have won.
Look, I've been thinking about this for a week, not 2 hours.
Losing is winning.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I don't want first. I will sit comfortably with a 2 or a 3 pick. I'll probably go pick 3.
All right. Matt
Ooh.
picks 3. Chappelle?
I'll take 2.
Chappelle second. Sasha?
Oh no.
First or fourth?
You're horrible. I thought we were friends. Oh no. I'll go 1. Why not? Vibes only.
All right.
Vibes only,
Sasha
baby.
first. It's so
Okay.
Sasha first, Chappelle, Matt, me. Is that it?
Seems like it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's reorder here. There we go. Okay. So Sasha, you have
Okay.
the first pick, the first boot on the board. Who
I'm
would you
not
like
gonna
to
be
recruit to
taking-
your team?
Will. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so I do have 2 options, which I think are solid and won't come back to me. So I am sad about all of this, but I believe I am going to go with my girl, Keisha. I just had a birthday. She is iconic for her birthday. I think it only makes sense that birthday on birthday, we go first.
Hashtag
Keisha's a good pick. Keisha.
Yes. Hashtag
I think-
Sasha's birthday.
birthday.
I think obviously there's 2, okay, 3. There's 3 all-stars on the list, and between Keisha and Allison, who had the most amount of success, I think I would pick Keisha. I think that Allison certainly had an impressive run in Big Brother 4, but I think Keisha is probably a player that's more likely to win a game. Also, like a fan favorite, really got screwed in All Stars as well. Like, I mean, Allison did to a degree also, but like Keisha was, like Sasha, a last minute replacement on Big Brother 22, had no opportunity to pregame. And then also wasn't even the target that first week. It was just that Janelle and Kaser were safe. And so she just had to be a backup. And so, yeah, I think Keisha's a great pick.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think also the only person she knew that knew her name was Memphis.
Yeah, that was sad.
So it was just a horrible mess, and she deserves better. She deserved better than that cast.
She does. Her calling Tyler Trevor made my life at the time.
It was perfect. She was just so great.
Did we ever figure out who was behind her Twitter account after the season?
No. Well, at least I don't
If
know.
that was actually her.
But yeah, that
I
was.
think it was her. Yeah, Queen.
She deserved better. She did not. Again, the alternate thing played a factor there that she didn't really know she was in until the very last minute. And, a lot of people felt kind of disappointed in whether her performance or obviously just the fact that she was the first boot after waiting all these years for Keisha to come back.
Correct.
So she finally does come back and very quickly is out. So, I mean, I was happy to take a bonus week of Keisha that I never otherwise would have gotten, but would have loved to have seen her last longer, obviously.
Right. And Keisha, to me, is the most memorable of all these first boots. I mean,
Correct.
if you cannot talk about Big Brother without talking about Keisha's birthday, it just that if you're a fan, that's in the lexicon. We're all spitting that without you got to know the quotes. You know what I'm saying? And that happens because of Keisha. So yeah, I think this is probably the best pick for me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Chappelle, you have the next pick.
Yeah, and I have two options here. I only have two that I actually want. And then everybody else will just fall to me and I will be with them, you know.
They'll be with you.
They will be with me. And so the problem is Matt's placement.
Yeah.
Matt put himself in a really good position to get somebody who I don't want, but also somebody that like is also decent as well. And I don't like that. So I'm taking Jody. Matt can take whoever he wants, but I'll take Jody.
Yeah, that's a smart.
The true Rob Queen.
Chappelle picked Jody from Big Brother 14. Chappelle, tell us about Jody.
What do we know about Jody? Literally, what
Nothing.
do we know about Jody? Nothing. But Jody
6
has been.
hours, baby.
If Keisha's birthday is iconic, Jody is also iconic in a way that a lot of these first boosts will never be. Jody's name comes up in other seasons. Jody appears, like her likeness, in other seasons just because she was done so dirty by Big Brother. She is a meme. She is a queen. She was robbed. She never had a chance. And she was on, you know, one of the, if arguably the best coaches team that year, you know? So, I mean, come on, man. Jody was robbed and she was sent home, 6
hours
into the game. Queen status. Don't bring Jody back. Leave her alone. We already ruined this lady's day one time. She spent 6 hours in the Big Brother house. She got to do it. And now she lives forever on in the way that a lot of these Big Brother players will be forgotten. Jody will never be forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, I think of the true first boots, I think Jody is the most famous. I think she's
by far. I mean,
memorable.
Not for the reason she was hoping for, but like all these years later to be a first boot that was not even given one night to sleep in the Big Brother house and still have fans, have like supporters, have people begging for you to get back into the house and play again. She won.
Yeah. There are people who play Big Brother multiple times and are not as iconic as Jody. And one of them is on his list. And so I'm just saying that this was my pick. It was very easy for me to make this pick, and I'm very happy with it.
I think we have to ask the question, is Jody the most screwed over first boot?
Oh, God, that's so hard.
Of the list we have in front of us, how could she not be?
I think you look at like Cameron, Steve, maybe.
Yeah.
But Cameron at least had like a full house vote. Steve had a few different competitions he could have won. You know, certainly it's not going to be Jacob. So, you know, it's I think probably, I think she had the least amount of opportunity to save herself.
Yeah, she was literally used as a competition later on. You know,
correct.
Like, this woman is the queen of first boots. You know, so I'm very happy with this selection. Thank you, Matthew.
Right. Well, that means that Matt has the next pick after Keisha and Jody. By the way, my top 2 picks on the board have been taken.
As they should be.
Of course.
Yeah, if I ended up picking first, it would have been Jody. But here I am with the third pick. 2 very good options off the board, but there is still one remaining option on the board that seems to stand out from the rest of the list. And of course, I am going to be taking Allison Irwin.
Allison, yes.
Allison, Big Brother 7's first boot after having made it to the final 2 of her original season, and still a queen to me.
I mean, she a part of an iconic final 2 between her and June. Also pretty screwed in All Stars. I mean, had much more opportunity than Keisha to like pregame and everything like that, but ultimately, you know, was evicted in part because her pregame was not as good as Chilltown's. You know, she had a reputation coming into that season as well that didn't exactly suit her needs. So
yeah.
You know, her first boot status definitely not the most damning. And her performance in season 4 was very fun.
I don't know if I mean I wasn't watching the show live at the time, but I don't know. So I don't know if like the edit portrays correctly what happened, but it shows that she was coming after BB6, which was obviously a big group of numbers, and so Janelle pushing for her to go, and then she seemed like Allison left the house in good spirits, but then as she's interviewing with Julie on the way out, make some comments towards Janelle that are not the best, some body shaming on the way out. Allison is a player though, and she used multiple different tactics to get herself farther in BB4 and BB7. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
of the three that we've talked about, I think she's third. I do. I think that we
Yeah.
haven't seen enough of Jody to know that Jody has any flaws, and we've seen that Keisha is damn near flawless. But here, Allison is a very flawed player.
So convenient you think that.
Yeah, so convenient. Huh? And so, but Allison, we saw her game, and it was very good with her in June and what they were able to do. But also, Allison wasn't beating many people in that house, including June. And then to come back and then to openly target basically a 4-person alliance.
And the HOH, right?
And then it's not great. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying I personally would have picked Jody, and I did.
You did.
Yeah, and I did.
We will never get another final two like Allison and June, and that's sad to me. That is so sad to me.
And how bitter that jury was to have to vote for either of them. Oh my God. Why can't Big Brother be like that again? Because that is what I want. Like, I want Big Brother to be horrible and messy again. Please.
Ah, yes. Take us back to the Jackson, Mickey, and Holly days. Back when it was messy.
I said 4.
And where?
I said 4.
Back when it was messy and people just hated to vote for either of the two people. My bad.
Remove Chappelle from the podcast. His time is done.
all right. Well, that means that I have the next 2 picks. And my 1, 2, and 3 went 1, 2, and 3. So I will now pick my number 4.
It's not your fault.
I feel like for me there was a clear top 4.
Yes.
But I think the top 3 was slightly more clear. But it does leave, of course, to me, Brian Hart. Brian Hart, season 10. The classic, the master manipulator who fell to his own machinations.
Oh my God.
Brian Hart, known for a very long time. I don't know if he still has this reputation, but for a very long time as the first boot with the most potential, unrealized potential. I think that title was briefly passed to David Alexander.
Shout out Melissa.
I was like, who gave him that? I was like, who exactly was that? Who said that?
Yeah, somebody.
Asia. I remember a couple people. And it's so frustrating because if he just had a chance to play. Okay.
No, because he did have a chance to play. He was controlling, like, who?
You
Jerry?
ain't got to convince us.
Yeah, like, stop the madness, right? And then he just went flop.
Sasha, we haven't even gotten to him yet. Please.
So Brian Hart, he had a great idea, right? Like, he really was at the forefront of essentially creating like the proto brigade style alliance 2 seasons before they ultimately do it in season 12. Ultimately gets screwed by Ollie, who had different things on his mind via April. Decided he wanted to go in a different direction, outed what Brian was doing, and the entire house had an intervention with Jerry, who had sworn to keep Brian. I mean, it's not only is Brian like a player who might have had potential. He seemed charismatic, strategic, but also his first boot is one of the most iconic in how it goes down and how it sets off the rest of the season, and how it's sort of like Dan Giesling's origin story. So very, very fun. Brian Hart. I guess he's my pick here.
Yeah, there's a good chance that what Brian did or was planning to do works in a lot of other seasons. But when you put together what many consider the best cast in Big Brother history and people that are there to play and to just for Big Brother, Libra and April and Keisha like coming together and saying like, no, this man is not doing what he thinks he's going to do. We're going to get him out of here right off the bat. And, stepping in and jumping right on top of, again, what he had planned. It's just very unlucky for him. But this pick certainly does make sense here. We almost got, Brian could have been up there with the that trivia question about most days in the house had he been brought back in the following season, but that didn't happen.
I mean, for a long time, like considering the success that Jesse found on season 11, I think Brian would have had an okay time.
Jesse, an icon. You know what? Brian is probably one of the first boots that is probably more popular because people love that season of television.
Yeah.
It does him a lot of good that he's on one of the best seasons, if not the best season of Big Brother. Because when people go watch it, you can't miss him. He's there, and like I'm never gonna go watch some of these seasons again. Looking at your season 1, but this, oh yeah, I've seen season 10 so many times. It's ridiculous.
He's so tied into the story of the winner, who is one of the, if not the most impressive Big Brother winners of all time. So, you can't forget Brian.
And it took the whole house, right? Like to get him out. Like everyone was like, "You need to vote. Like it's done. Like bye. Get his ass out." And they still. Jerry was like, "Jerry, wake up, Jerry." Stop falling in the pool. Let's get this together, please. Okay, so so I think that because he's great and his association, I think, makes him the top 4. Because I think had it been on another season, we might have been like, "Oh, what a pompous," but instead, I think he gets to be this like interesting personality that actually got to make a lot of moves.
All right, now I have another pick. This one's actually tough. Because I feel like there are a couple of options in front of me, but I also like, I want some variety on my team. I don't want to just go like necessarily straight down my list. There's somebody I really want that I'm afraid is gonna be taken after another like 6 picks or whatever. So I went with Brian, probably the first boot with the most potential. I think my next pick has to be somebody who was iconic in and of themselves in their plan coming into the game, and they took part in one of the worst and most short-lived alliances of all time. I'm gonna pick Keith.
Who? I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Of Keith's Angels.
You must be joking. That is not where I thought it was going.
I was hoping it was where it was going because my pick's still on the board.
I have literally nothing to say about Keith and his Angels.
What do you mean? First of all, okay, if people are voting for Terrence's team, I want you to know he picked the person that nominated themselves through the veto. Sorry. Right? Keith threw the veto, right?
He wanted to stay on the block. He was very
foolish.
Okay,
mega dummy. And we are not gotten to mega dummy yet. We're still at like, might be good.
Pell would not have picked Keith. Maybe he didn't know who Keith was.
He would not have. I tell you that.
But Taryn ripped us out the plastic now. It's there. We out here now. Like,
great. Now I'm going full.
Now we can go wild. Okay, let's do it.
Taryn.
Yeah.
The potential was there. He was of the list of people here, people who just flopped. He was there to game. He was there to play. He was there to make allies. Did it work?
Look, at the end of the day,
be that as it may,
did it work?
Keith was a victim of the format of this season. He was the Jose before Jose. He decided that he wanted to face up against the vets. He was part of the Regulators, which, let's face it, was a dream team alliance that should have been. And he was betrayed by Kalia and Shelly, and should have kicked off the dominance of the newbies.
Keith was a mega dummy. He
came into the game wanting to start an alliance called Keith's Angels. With 2 other women who would have their own sub alliances. This man is a genius that was not able to fulfill his destiny.
He is. How are you a genius and you throw the veto?
He may have gotten a little overconfident and may have alienated his fellow newbies. That might have happened. But Keith is one of the most iconic first boots in the history of the show, in my opinion.
Y'all better.
But
stop
still, like,
the
while I
madness.
agree with that, it's crazy. Like, we don't talk about him anymore. Nobody talks about Keith, right? Do
Duh.
we?
I talk about
What do we? What?
Does-
This is enough. We've just covered everything to talk about. What else are we supposed to say?
I mean, there's other people on here, and I'm not like slamming the pick. Just there's other people on here that we talk about more often. Whether it's just because we made a silly like meme about them being the summer of blank, but there was enough material there that I would not have been surprised if Keith has still been talked about to this day. But people saying in the chat, I don't remember him.
It's a combination of Keith's season kind of old. So a lot of us weren't in the Big Brother community. I know
10
I
years
was
ago,
watching it
maybe more.
alone at that time, and so I wasn't like talking to people about Keith. Oh, you see the crazy shit Keith's doing? I don't know.
You
But
could have
when
been.
I don't know if I could have been. Who knows? I don't know where the hell I was at when Keith was on Big Brother, but I watched the season.
I was
and
watching.
yeah, but I don't know if
You-
I was talking to people about it.
No,
I think
I'm
you might-
not
I think Keith
embarrassing
might be
myself.
like you had to be there. Like
Yeah, in the moment.
reading his
No, I
bio
was
and
there,
seeing
and
Keith's
it's
angels.
too. It's not giving what you.
But I will give him credit in a way because we just talked about how Brian Hart's partner in crime went on to go be Dan Giesling and wins the whole season. Keith's partner came in second. Portia did make a good run, and she lost to a veteran. And like Terrence said, this is largely part of the format of the show is that these veterans are always going to mop you up in a lot of these cases. And so maybe Keith was robbed. Who knows? Maybe he could have been Jordan Lloyd in a different world.
Now
All
you
right.
still
Well, that means that Matt has the next pick. Matt,
I guess we
who
know
will
where
you
Matt's
choose?
going.
Do we?
I don't know
mean,
who Matt's going to pick.
I know who I'm going, and
Let's
I
do
wasn't
it.
sure if I was gonna get this person, but I'm very happy about it that I'm going to be taking the saboteur herself, Annie, off the board here with my
That's
next
fine
pick.
with me.
Annie, the
Good
saboteur.
one.
Yes, potential was there, but obviously was not able to control much of her own game. Was linked up with the entirely two wrong people, which led to a decision of a vote made that, looking back, is very confusing. She was on the block against Rachel Riley in the first week of that season, and Rachel stayed in the house and was left to Brenchel all around while Annie was sent home.
Listen, the original Brenchel truther, the original Brenchel stand right here. I love it.
I mean, definitely a memorable first boot, I think, especially because she represents one of the biggest flops in terms of twists that the show has ever had. My issue with Annie is that she was like not like amazing and super full of potential, but also wasn't a complete disaster as a player. And I feel like she's more memorable for the failure of the twist than she is as a player herself.
Yeah,
Probably.
And she tried to come between Rachel and her man. And as we all know in that season, if you try to come between her and her man, you got to go.
Yeah,
And,
she comes out of that. Okay.
Here we go. No, go ahead. Which is like, that's a fairy tale love story on the other end of that. What was she going to do?
She comes out of the house and Julie's asking her about like, so Rachel, Brendan, and Rachel, I think in her goodbye message made a comment about, Brendan and Annie or whatever was going on there. And Andy's like, well, it's funny because actually I turned him down right as soon as we got into the house. And now he's with Rachel. So I don't know. Lead to whatever conclusions you will.
Yeah.
I
That's what she
really
gets.
don't remember her like at all. Like I watched it live, but I don't remember. I remember the saboteur. So like Taryn, you said, I think it's more that if were she not the saboteur, would she have been remembered? I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Chappelle, you have the next pick. Who are you going to choose?
Who we got left?
I'm gonna need you to start taking.
Who we got
notes.
left? Who's our options?
A lot.
A lot of really good picks.
Look at the Google spreadsheet.
I just have to keep up with these people's names. A lot of really good picks. I shouldn't have looked at the list. All right, get this person on the next go round. So I'm gonna hold off on that one. Man, this really sucks. All right, boom, 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 boom. Let's go with Cameron. Cameron Hurd.
Come
Let's go with Cameron.
Oh, Sasha.
Yeah.
Boo.
I'm sorry, Sasha. Oh.
Cameron.
That's what I wanted.
Maybe, it's certainly one up there in terms of most screwed. One of these first night boots was replaced by Paul. So he's got that going for him.
No friendship for you.
There are 15 other people in the Big Brother 19 house that I would have enjoyed being first boot more than this man.
No lies.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So that's unfortunate.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. One of the most likable people in that season for sure, based off of the 3 seconds that we saw them. Cameron was wearing glasses, so we know they're the nerd of the season, but also kind of ripped. And so I think in the physical challenges, he would have been fine if he ever got there toward the end. He was up against a juggernaut and Christmas Abbott. So there's that. And so maybe he just had a tough break. I think I feel good about picking Cameron.
Yeah. I think it's a good pick. He was after Brian on my list, but I was like, I'm not gonna pick Brian and Cameron. Back to back. Like, that's boring. But I think he clearly had some potential. He had no chance to really like dig in and do anything in the game. Who knows how he would have actually done, but just the fact that he was screwed so much, I think definitely puts him in contention here.
Now, what is it about first boots or likely first boots in the Big Brother house that make them need to feel the desire to put on a strip tease for other people in the house? Cameron is one here. There's another person on the list that we are going to get in a bit, and there might even be a third that I'm not thinking of. It happened a couple times.
I'm pretty sure Ian was stripping at some point. I think when you just running out of room in the Big Brother house, you just gotta just throw everything, go balls to the wall. If even just throw everything out there and see what happens.
You got to work for the money.
Use everything you got. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't really work. Cameron's strip tease was for Elena and Jessica, and they giggled a lot, but it didn't get their votes.
No, they both had eyes for much better candidates, I'm sure.
Yes. So
sure.
Wow.
Amazing.
All right. Cameron chosen here by Chappelle. That means, Sasha, you have the next 2 picks, but which is going to be the first?
Okay. This one I knew I was gonna pick, so I'm glad it came to me. It is this person's season, so I think it's time that Summer of Steve is back on my team, baby.
Why is he wearing this blazer?
If it's summer, why are you wearing this outfit?
That man wants a hug.
Was that a tweed? What is that material?
Tweed.
It's so hot looking. What is that? Oh my god!
I think men of a certain age just like start dressing this way, and he's just like, one of them. I think he was.
I'm not a cop. Look at me.
Paul Blart. No, it's the jeans, right? Like I remember wearing those jeans, like a version of those in high school.
Good old boot cuts.
This is 2018, right? Yeah.
Sasha, you were in Oklahoma. There's a reason why you could get away with those jeans.
No, it was a thing that people wore in the early 2000s with my little baby fat. Shut up.
Summer of Sasha,
20 whatever.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
But yes, I think Steve is just so funny. I think iconic, right? Like, I love clout, and this man is clouted as hell, where he's like, he has a saying that's evergreen. It's going to stay as a soundbite for years to come. Who's doing it like Summer of Steve? No one. Okay, absolutely no one. And I think Summer of Steve is here to win. I am so glad I got this.
Yeah, when I knew I wasn't gonna pick Cameron, I was between Steve and Keith.
Yeah, I thought
Because
you were picking Steve when you said came with the plan, because he's like, I came in with the plan, and it's the summer. Yeah, shut up, Steve. You got first. You out. Stop this.
I feel like they're both best known for their preseason bios.
Correct.
But ultimately, I felt Keith was more entertaining on the show.
Correct.
I do think that Steve had more potential in terms of his ability on the show. I mean, Steve was almost one of my trivia questions as the first boot who received the most amount of votes for him to stay the week he was evicted. It took quite the Herculean effort by Tyler to get him gone.
Or how dumb was Faute?
Which is still so crazy.
I mean, like, please. I am known Faute supporter, but my God, what a foolish alliance. And from jump, right? But from Steve's elimination, we should have known this is not the alliance we should be hitching our wagon to. Tyler said, just gas the nonsense, lies, everything. And she said, yeah, that makes sense. I should vote my dad out. I love
Matt,
Steve. It's Faute, dumbass.
You have any insight on Caitlin Herman?
Maybe they both do, no?
As a game player on BB20, there was a lot to watch there.
Talked, right? Taryn?
I think Taryn too, maybe.
So
right.
Steve was high on my board as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
Steve was not high on my board.
Well, sad for you.
Yeah, the 7-6 vote is like obviously the closest you can get. And it was by very interesting circumstances that seventh vote became that seventh vote. Hard to really blame him for it. It was the most split house you could imagine in modern times of Big Brother. So rough way for him to go out, but as far as, again, for first boots, that's what we're doing here. Potential. He was doing okay. Him and Scotty, they had something.
Yeah.
Scotty, right. I forgot about Scotty. Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy season.
Come on. How can you forget? That is, I have to say, I don't know why, is my number one alliance ever, because they're so stupid.
Scotty and Steve?
No, yeah, Scotty and Steve, and then Faute. Like, all of them together. I think they're all so stupid.
Wait, it's not Shelltown?
No.
Shelltown.
So stupid. Like, I think all these people are so stupid, and I just want to cry. I love
All right, well, let's take a look at the teams so far. Sasha has Keisha and Summer of Steve. Chappelle has Jody and Cameron. Really going for the screwed over players there. Matt has Allison and Annie with the alliteration. And I have Brian Hart and Keith's Angels.
I like it.
All right. Sasha, you now have the next
Oh God,
pick.
guys. Okay.
Okay.
I'm stressed because I wanted Cameron, but Chappelle exists. So anyway, so I'm struggling because here's the thing, right? If I pick this next person, no one will know and people would just drag me, but it's for the meme, so I won't do it yet. So I think I have to go with what I feel was an underrated person. I think that misogyny got her. So I think I have to go with Joey. I think Joey with the blue hair is on my team. I feel like folks just very underrated. I don't understand why. She was so hated and Caleb was just on her neck. And it's get out of here, beast mode cowboy. No one cares about you. And they just said feminism. We don't want it. So Joey. And I think she went full unhinged. When she got when she was on the when she was on the block, she just lost her mind. She was like, if I were a man, they wouldn't vote me out. So let me dress like one. I find her to be so funny, and I'm sure it is gonna tank my team, but I don't care. I think it's so funny. And Joey, come on down.
Joey, another classic, went against the grain in the first week, went against the power and was snuffed out because of it. Definitely, I think I'm really another kind of pick in the line of Keith, I think, where it's
Yeah.
like just a little bit, had an idea of what she wanted to do, did not fit very well in the season. And really one of the unanimous voted out players.
Yeah.
Men were just so like bothered by her on this season, like so weak. I can't get it. Like they just were like, oh no, a girls' alliance that literally can't stop telling on each other. But okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, it was giving, I just watched BB12 before I got here. I'm not going to let that
Yeah.
happen. And I know exactly what to do. I'm sure it's never been tried before. We're going to make it happen. It did not happen. And, again, a lot of people on this list that are going to be further down are people that are actively terrible. She tried to play the game, so she gets points for that in my book. I think that she would have been great as a returnee on like an OTT type of season if we could have ever seen that. I love the pick.
I think you could probably credit Joey for kicking off the discussion on can a women's alliance work.
Oh God, it is close. I refuse to have this conversation. No, it's also because she was never the target, really, right? Like Donnie, I believe, was the target, and then Donnie wins veto. Oh yeah, and thank you in the chat. She was the OG America's favorite player. I forgot about that. So yeah, that is why I was like, she's just killing it overall. And the spineless jellyfishes in the house couldn't handle it.
I just remember her intro package, like running around to recycling bins, like making friends with them and just showing us how environmentally friendly.
Like a leftist, right? It was her whole thing. And like that was so polarizing.
I know.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
She went for it.
Well, Chappelle, you have the next pick. There's one more night one screwed or really two, not night one. So one more night one screwed over person. And then if you want to round out the team,
do it.
No. Okay. Okay, I got you. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite seasons of Big Brother 3. I want Lori.
Ooh.
She was next on my list.
I want Lori because Lori is one of the funniest first boots. The way she goes out with this whole hand washing scenario, right? I can hear her voice like, Jerry, they're in there talking about you.
That was good.
Like, and I got up and I said, Jerry, and then of course, Queen Danielle Ray is like, she tried to get loud with me, so I went ghetto fabulous on her. And I'm like, you do not play. You washed your nasty hands. And I can't think about my queen, Danielle, without thinking about Lori as one of her first victims. She wasn't even the target. She wasn't. Jerry does some weird stuff and takes Marcellus off because, Jerry gotta look out for Marcellus because, that's what Jerry does, right? Him and Marcellus just have this connection, this weird thing about them. Jerry has to look out for him. And now, Amy survives the block. We lose Lori, but she's so funny. She is so funny, and that whole hand washing thing is great. I am so happy this person. This was almost my first pick.
Yeah,
Lori's a great
hand washing gate was fantastic. Of course, it's the reason why you remember Lori to this day. And she was fighting the good fight about hand washing before.
I think she was on the other side.
Wrong.
Yeah,
she was on the other side, but she was part of the fight. She was part of the conversation.
Yeah, how do we think these past 3 years have been for our girl Lori?
I want to know where she's at today with him.
Lori, you good?
Lori,
she actually became a surgeon. It's well known.
She did not have an issue with Jerry not washing his hands. It's like she agreed that he should have washed his hands. She just felt like we could just tell him to wash his hands, y'all. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. But don't come for Danielle. Let her do what she's doing, okay? She got her comeuppance in the end, and it's still to this day robbed. But Lori, in that moment, she just couldn't sit there and be quiet. She had to stand up for Jerry and his nasty ass hands. And so I was always going to pick Lori. When I heard about the assignment, I said, this is my chance to talk about Lori and that hand washing.
Oh God, bless their heart.
All right.
Queen.
Okay, Matt, you have the next pick.
This is an easy one for me just because we're about to get into a whole field of of minds, and so I will take one player on the board who I still hold in very high regard, and I always will. And from BB2 we're gonna go, I'm sorry, BB3, spoiler alert, we're gonna go right to BB2, and I will be taking Cheryl.
Yes.
The first pawn to go home, maybe not necessarily, but
No,
who I think of.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
she?
I
Is she
think
the first?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what
first.
people say. Yeah.
Okay, well,
First
certainly
pawn.
the first one that comes to mind of the first pawn, supposed to be entirely safe in the house, and next thing you know, walking out the front door.
Classic.
She is the reason we say pawns go home.
Mhm.
Pawns went home before pawns ever didn't go home. It was always pawns went home. Like there's this idea of like, they want to use you as a pawn, but there's a good chance you might go home. No, pawns by design, first time, went home. It's so crazy that it's like this revisionist side of me wants to look back and be like, yeah, you can use somebody as a pawn, and that normally works out. Actually, the first time it didn't. And here's our
Call Sherry.
Yeah, Cheryl.
Hey Sherry, I'm like a pawn.
Yeah, Cheryl, what's a pawn? She was the hot mom, right?
Yep.
That was what Will was calling her. Like, I want to
look at her hair. Wow,
a baddie.
I love it.
She was beloved.
Yeah.
Everyone was sad to see her go, but you had this three-headed monster, of course, of Shannon, Boogie, and Will, and the only way to take a shot at them was doing the opposite plan of what Boogie wanted, sending Cheryl home. And from there on, we know how the next two boots go. So Cheryl was, a victim of that. But if she played again, I would love to see it. And again, she was well liked. So that's enough for me at this point.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That means that I have the next two picks. And I'm really starting to see the disadvantages to my draft order position.
No.
Oh my God.
Here's the deal. I think my team's going to be full of people that nobody remembers because
that's fair.
like, am I going to go with these picks that people would remember, or am I going to go with people that I actually like more? I'm going to go with the ones I like more. And that means my next pick is going to be from Big Brother 4, Amanda.
Oh,
yeah,
my one.
I thought I'd get it.
You acting like I got a dark horse here. Nah, Amanda she's up there.
I'm surprised. I didn't know that a lot of people would remember Amanda, but I feel like
she's iconic.
Truly,
you know why?
You know, we all know why, baby.
Look at her face.
Okay.
She knows why.
She knows why.
Here are the points for Amanda. Number one, first person to have sex in the Big Brother house.
Queen.
And she did it as a first boot. She got in there quick.
Got in
and out.
She said, I waste no time.
The camera's rolling, baby. I'm in here.
Let's do it. Kim Kardashian, who? I did it
first. Number two, she got screwed. I mean, she came in as an ex, got screwed because the non-exes just wanted somebody out. And her ex was like psychotic. He went off, threw things around, got ejected from the game, couldn't handle. She was put in a bad situation in that house, and had to spend her entire time there as like the person going home for no fault of her own. I think she has a lot of potential. She was very chill. Give her some footing in the game. I think she could do something with it, but she never got it. So Amanda's my pick.
Yeah, this is great. I enjoyed this pick.
She was up against G, who was making lots of friends and not much of a chance of staying in that circumstance.
Yeah.
But certainly a legend.
Yeah, and again, two of the exes were going to be nominated. It happened to be her and G. G had June, on the side of that was his ex who secretly worked with him throughout the season to get the win. And she had Scott, who got ejected from the game for his behavior. Like it was like that was the situation she was in.
Chappelle wants to draft Scott and Justin. So
Oh no,
That'll
not
be his
Scott,
next pick.
not Scott, not Scott,
That's not what you said earlier.
not Scott.
The chair
right.
could have hurt us. I will never like. June literally gives 0 Fs, but really just wanted to dig his ass like into the ground. Ugh, I love June.
Yeah, and if we had gone by different rules, we wouldn't even be talking about Amanda here. Like you said, Scott went first, so
Yeah, he would have
Okay.
been a fun one. Amanda is much better to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, next pick. This is another tough one for me. I feel like one is going to be better known, and maybe even had a lot of potential. But the other one I like more, and so I'm just gonna go full on with the ones I like and see how that goes for me. I'm gonna pick the youngest first boot, Carol Journey.
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't know her.
Yeah.
Neither is
maybe a
Jessica.
little known fact. She has made an appearance at a live RHAP show.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
That was a night to remember. Those who were there know.
Wait, tell us more.
Right, go ahead.
Exclusive tea, everyone.
It's got to still be on the internet. No, it was just
Yeah,
it was a live
on the
show.
internet.
It was the OTT live show, and Jose was there.
Jose was there.
Ooh.
Eric Stein was there, who
Summer
I believe
is-
brought Carol Journey along.
Yes,
and
as
had
the
to
story
probably-
goes, Eric Stein reached out to Carol, was like, "Hey, come hang out." She showed up to a Big Brother RHAP live show and went, "Eric, what is going on? Why am I here? Why am I on stage? What are
On
we
stage.
talking about?"
Oh.
Carol, bless your heart. What
So
a fool.
At least I know she don't know me and I don't know her, because we got that in common.
If
I've
I
never
ever
seen
saw her walking down the street, I'm sorry.
And that was the last day that Carol Journey has thought about Big Brothers.
I've never seen this woman before. You cannot
Another
put me
claim
in
to
another.
fame for Carol being on season 8. She was there with her nemesis, Jessica, and she was there because of a grievance over $5 that was owed.
Her! Wow! That's all you had to say. Dead lady. Yeah, what a good pick. This is a good pick. Good, you go.
Right?
Yeah, all right, cool. I forgot about that.
We're like,
Wow.
you get Amanda and Carol.
That's a good pick.
Imagine-
all right.
Imagine being cast on a show because you owed somebody $5 once and then get evicted from that show because you owed somebody $5 once.
Oh my God.
And getting home and seeing somebody actively talk about this $5 that you do not remember.
And it's $5, Jessica, please.
Yeah,
Stand
she was.
Oh.
If I am recalling correctly, I think she was working or would have been working with Jen Johnson in the house.
Yes, that's what it
Yeah.
said
So,
online.
Classically was an ally of
So,
the
like,
genius herself.
The genius.
Certainly points for that.
Does she like this
knows how to
picture of
pick 'em.
herself, though?
Right.
question.
Isaiah's somewhere fist pumping because he's a big Gin City fan.
Not that,
Oh,
not that
God.
Jen.
All right. Yes, and I think that was probably the $5 that Eric Stein would have done that for.
Mhm.
So,
Wow. Is that tied in? Oh my God. That's crazy. I never thought about that.
all right. Those are my 2 picks, and
No,
it's
these are
now going to go
great.
back to Matt.
It's getting tough now.
This is getting really difficult. really, really difficult. But there's only one name left on the board here. Maybe 2, 3. I don't know. One that is standing out at the top of my list here still. So I'm going to have to pick this person. Hard to survive in the Big Brother house when the first HOH is Frenchie. The chaos that ensues in a week like that, I can't really hold it against Travis Long. I mean, could he have done better? Certainly.
What
but
was Travis doing?
was
besides
he like the
DX?
13th
Like,
nominee to make it on the block that week? I don't know.
He was. 17 people went up.
and then
and he
then
was
Travis.
the 19th. Yeah.
So he is another one who I believe, I don't know if he did he was another stripper on the on his way
Yes.
out. He gave Kylan a lap dance on Kylan's birthday.
You have a very
And
vivid
also,
image. Yeah,
I
don't
did some
remember that.
research.
Matt
okay.
remembers every striptease.
All
Big
of them.
Brother.
That might be
Matt
true.
has a type, must be.
And I didn't pick Cameron. One of you guys did.
Wait, what?
You
I didn't
picked
remember
him.
the striptease. I picked him, but I didn't remember the stripping.
And then Travis also, I believe, in his final words or final plea, or maybe left the house without a shirt on as well. So he was looking for any way to stay top of mind after his exit.
Also, he has no shoes on in this picture, and why I never realized that
I
before.
would never have looked at that until you just pointed that out. That's
Like,
crazy.
what are you doing? This is.
And is that a tattoo or like an ankle monitor?
His
looks like a
ankle
Sims.
monitor. It's a bracelet, probably, or
Okay.
Yeah,
anklet.
it's an anklet. Yeah.
Anklet. But this
he
is
looks like a
his
Sim
game
character.
in one picture, right? Like,
Yeah.
not prepared.
Well, the producer were like, "You're a surfer, so take off your shoes." Like I'm pretty sure they were trying to make it like, "Oh, look at you." But the only thing I remember about him is that Derek X would take a bullet for him to this day, and I'm
Correct.
sure Travis does not remember who Derek X is. But
Correct.
that his name lives on because Derek X was obsessed with him.
Travis, as far as we know, never hired Derek.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
No, I forgot about that.
Also, Travis ends up on the wrong side of like you said, this is Frenchie, but this is the season with the cookout. It's gonna be an uphill battle for him anyway.
Also, like Frenchie was I want. Go ahead.
He didn't exactly put up a fight.
Exactly.
No, not much. It's funny though. Like the whole thing was Frenchie saying, "I want to get out of Meathead," and Travis on his way out is like, "By the way, just remember what I look like over here without a shirt on." So Travis, yeah,
Matt does remember.
Matt remembers.
Yeah.
People are saying, not memorable in the chat. That is exactly the point. The people that are to come are memorable and maybe not for good reasons. There we go.
Travis, the bee's knees of Big Brother 23.
Look at his knees here too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Like this picture is
my knees.
wild.
Yeah, it is an odd picture. He does look
All
like
right. Chappelle, you have the next pick.
Oh God. Pick
wow.
someone I don't want, please.
That's everybody.
Yeah, I mean
No.
this is tough. There's one that's really sticking out, but I do not want to pick them. I just really I know them. I know them very well in comparison to a lot of these other people.
Who is that?
Sadly, I don't even want to say. I'm embarrassed.
Oh,
I cannot do that. Damn it. So
I think you should.
I'm picking Ashleigh Evans.
Oh, you freaking
That's
guy! I
funny.
hate you.
Ashleigh was a member of the Sovereign Six, damn it, and we all rooted for them. That's it. That's all I can say. They would not have formed the way. Listen, the way these people, the friendship formed because of the death of Cappy. The Sovereign Six formed because of the loss of Ashleigh. Damn it, she was the first. There will be no Janelle if there was no Ashleigh. I'm sorry, y'all. If you bow down to that queen of challenge competitions and Big Brother, then you have to pay homage to her number one ally, her first caser, if you will, Ashleigh.
Okay, maybe.
Hey, I made the pick. I had to sell it.
Yeah, you tried it though.
I mean,
not to unlock.
This is who I wanted, so I'm just
RHAP patron secrets here, but I did enjoy on the patron podcast this week, Rob being told that there was a person that plays Ashleigh, that was named Ashleigh on Big Brother, and just refused to remember, or just did not believe that was true. So
I believe
Rob,
she's
if
the
you're
only person named Ashleigh in any Big Brother.
probably in any reality show ever.
I've never heard these
Rob,
names
if you're
ever
watching,
again.
this is Ashleigh.
Yeah.
She was Janelle's friend.
She was Janelle's friend.
Yeah.
People didn't like her.
People didn't like her, but people didn't like Janelle.
Do people remember that the first ever eviction vote that Janelle cast on Big Brother was voting to evict Kaser?
Yeah.
That's
because
what they were. Because
that's
of
what
her
bonded them. They
exactly.
bonded them.
Had Kaser gone home, we don't know what would have happened here. Ashleigh and Janelle could have run this season and then subsequent All-Star seasons. We know Kaser is not pulling that much weight in these All-Star seasons.
Chappelle.
I literally call it what it is, baby.
If you vote for Chappelle's team, just remember he said this.
Sasha, stop lobbying.
His team says anti-Kaser.
I'm just saying.
I can't wait to pull this clip just so
that man
I can get some votes.
that you are putting down survived the block against Ashleigh, who you just picked.
I just want to listen. We all rooted for Kaser, but In a different world, we could have all been rooting for Ashley. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry. And now I think you're really just like the amount of stretching you've done for this reach is wild. Yeah. But listen, I was gonna pick her. I'm just saying, I think she's great, but also like not at the expense of my guy Kaysar. Like, stop this.
All right. Well, Sasha, you have the next pick. You were going to pick Ashley.
Okay. I really thought Amanda would come to me. I don't know why. I was living in that flop reality. Anyway, it's fine. I will now pick. And I think that this might be this is for fun. Okay. So I think I'm going to pick Joey number 2, aka Glenn.
So you got Steve and Glenn?
Yes. Give me the old men. I have nothing to say about Glenn. Like, what here's the thing, right? I would want it to be known that my team is like the like I want cloud team. Because what was this man doing on these Twitter streets? Right? Like, allegedly, sorry, right? It's
Allegedly.
not.
Yeah, I mean, like
allegedly.
if not for Joey Rodriguez, I feel like Glenn would be fondly remembered.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he flopped himself so bad, and I love it. And anyway, when I was looking up like stats on him, he's the oldest house guest, I guess, as of BB18 at least, to not make the jury phase. Like, you're telling me that this was just all there for him, and he just fumbled the bag.
And big reaction in the chat. Lots of Glenn should have been picked first. Lol.
No, but you're like remembering the exact like tweet.
Also, you should totally make out.
I'll tell you.
The LOL, the capitalization. It was. How could you forget?
League of Legends, right? That's what he's saying.
I think so.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. Can someone please cue me into who the hell Joey is?
Oh, Chappelle.
Matt, do it.
Are we going there?
Yes.
Y'all just gonna talk about me in front of my face? Not gonna let me.
There was after Glenn's season aired, there was an account that popped up on Twitter that was suggesting that I believe that Glenn had been in pictures with attractive women from Big Brother, and there was a account by the name of Joey Rodriguez that was replying to these tweets, telling them you should totally make out. And one day, as Puya again mentions, it was a wild day when it was figured out that the Joey Rodriguez account was actually run by one Glenn Garcia.
How did it get figured out? What happened?
They had very distinct ways of typing.
You match up like Twitter for whatever they were using. It was the same thing.
I just wanted to be clear that my my lunch table has to say Glenn/Joey Rodriguez.
It has to say Joey and Joey.
Yeah, like it has to, because if it doesn't,
twist.
Yeah, like I lose a lot. So please, that is the only reason I picked this person. Yeah, it was the way he was, like the punctuation. Anyway, it was allegedly. It was.
That's wild.
And it was like all over. Like, it was just comments left on like just random like Glenn is great. Like you should totally hook up.
Bring him back. I think he might have.
You should totally go to yoga. Okay, I got it. Okay,
if no one, you got to be your own hype man. Hey,
I'm about to create a burner.
Anyway, yeah.
What would your burner account be named, Chappelle?
I don't know. So did he pick Joey Rodriguez because he wanted people to think it was the Joey Rodriguez? Is that why he did this?
I haven't asked him.
I have no idea.
Someone call Glenn.
Yeah, that'll be
Glenn on the next Mess Magnets, everyone.
Please.
Anonymous. Submit it.
Oh my God. That's wild. Maybe I would have probably picked him earlier had I known this story.
Yes, that is what
Also, like Big Brother wise, this man was one coconut away from sending Corey Brooks home in the first HOH competition, in the first eviction competition or whatever of that season. We get down to it's Glenn's team. Glenn Nicole, Corey, and I can't remember. And it came down to Corey and Glenn. One of them was going to lose the competition, go home first at that exact moment by one coconut. Glenn loses that competition, goes out on day 1 or episode whatever. I don't know,
It was
1 or 2.
dangerously close too. I think I remember like a photo finish almost. I think, you know, sliding door situation. Nicole and Glenn take it to the end, and then who knows what happens.
All right, let's quickly give an update one more time here
Chat,
of
who should I
the
pick
teams. Sasha has Keisha, Summer of Steve, Joey, and Joey.
That's incredible. I'm sorry, Sasha. That's so good.
Can we get Joey Rodriguez written in there, please? Chappelle has Jody, Cameron, Lori, and Ashlea.
So good. Ugh.
Matt has Allison, Annie, Cheryl, and Travis. And I have Brian, Keith, Amanda, and Carol.
If you told me Cheryl Braxton was a person, I'd have been looking for a black lady. I just realized her name was Cheryl Braxton. That's a soulful ass name, Cheryl. Yeah, that's a soulful name. She sounds like an R&B singer.
Oh, God.
All right, Sasha, this is your last pick because the other one will be assigned to you. So who will it be?
Guys, where do I go?
You have so many great options in front of you.
Someone.
Oh, okay, everyone. Sasha. Just for folks that don't know, do I pick Jace? Because he did delete all his tweets where we dragged him to hell and back. So I'm sad so that we have no proof that this happened. But yes, for everyone that didn't know, Jace did come into my comments trying to school me on Asian representation in Big Brother, and promptly got screwed by Big Brother Twitter.
I believe Sasha told that man to shut the hell up and go touch some grass. I believe those were her words. Did. I got on Twitter after hours of being at work probably, and I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Yeah. And
you missed the opportunity for touch some shells.
Absolutely. Chappelle and Sasha and Scally like cornering Jay, saying, apologize.
And he did.
No, he apologized when Chappelle apologized to me, and then I said, you only apologize because a man said so. So he was getting lashings, okay? So do I pick Jace for the meme? But I feel like no one will know that, so I'm not going to do it.
Just pick him, because now we have to talk about him twice if you don't.
We got to talk about him twice if you don't.
No, you can drop him to me. It's
there
fine.
There are not many better options left, so I'm just...
I think I will pick the iconic first draft. And I will... Come on down to my team. Will Collins is here.
Yes.
First ever first boot. But hi.
So I was gonna pick him for name recognition, but
correct.
Go back and watch. No, nobody go back and watch Big Brother 1. But if you have any desire to, not a pretty exit.
Wasn't great. Definitely was not loved by America or his fellow house guests. Got into some arguments, had some things to say.
Just some. The most awkward, I did rewatch it. His girlfriend is sitting in the studio after he gets evicted, or while he's about to get evicted. And they showed a whole montage of him like talking to the women in the house in ways that you might not talk if you had a girlfriend back home. And Julie goes, so
my team is so messy without me even knowing.
What do you think about all that? She's like, that's fine. Just a very uncomfortable interaction all the way around. He comes out of the house, he gives her a big kiss, and I'm sure they're fine.
Oh, Will, you're so mad. Oh, the point is Team Chaos is alive and well, is what you're telling me. Thank God.
The moment
Team Chaos.
Matt said he might have picked this person, should have let you know how problematic this person is.
Thank God. Listen, I want to make it clear. I enjoy people that cause mess on Big Brother. Like, they don't need to be like the phobics and all of that, but I feel like folks that are just like stupid and show their whole ass, that is what makes Big Brother fun. So you know what, he had a girlfriend, he was being toxic, but it made for great TV, I'm sure.
He claimed afterward that his strategy was to intentionally cause mayhem in order to be entertaining on the show, and that he hoped that the viewers would enjoy it and keep him around.
Well, you're here. You're on my team for that. I didn't even know. But yeah, I don't know, guys.
I'm trying to think of something good to say.
He was a member of the Black Panthers, Isaac.
Yes.
He was a member of the
That's
Black
cool.
Panthers. That's cool. I think Big Brother started before Survivor, right?
No.
No.
Okay, so he's like the second or third Black person to ever be on reality TV. So I guess I'll give him that. It's a big thing. You know, we didn't get a lot after that. And it's not to say he's made any good
you have Black people.
It was a big topic. He went on the show and
Hannah.
And I think there's like, I think it'd be interesting to look at, but like there's definitely a lot of like conversations about race that he had on the show. And I'm sure there was, in addition to like some of the things that people didn't like about it, I'm sure there was also a sentiment of racism that came along with how much the audience disliked him. And so there's a lot to dig into here, but it's also like a different show, basically.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a pick, Sasha.
All right. Well,
and
Chappelle, you have the next pick. Who's it going to be?
Oh, God.
Okay. I think I can finally safely pick this person without hating myself. Because a lot of these other players, I've seen them do so poorly that I know they suck. I've seen this person do poorly twice. And the first time, people were confused and thought that they had a lot of potential. We later found out that David Alexander does not have any potential for this game. But he is an all-star. He played twice. He got a lot of days on his belt, more days than many of these people do. And he seems like a nice person. And so I'm going to pick David Alexander.
Yeah.
And it took a lot.
You really tried to drag me too.
Pick a different picture. See, this is why I couldn't pick you. That's because you don't know how to act. Every time I try to give you the inch, you take a mile.
You really tried to drag me, and this was your pick.
Sasha, please. David Alexander could never say half the things that Will Mega said in the first day that he was on Big Brother.
You think he can put a thought together? Stop this.
He was on the show enough for me to
know.
Did
he know he was on the show?
No, he didn't. But neither did Will Mega.
This is a 3-time reality show veteran.
All-star.
Don't forget his challenge.
Yeah,
he would have been my pick if he had come back to me.
Yeah, who else y'all got? Please.
David Alexander remains underrated as a reality TV character.
Okay.
Underrated?
Okay.
We didn't.
Now everyone is losing their mind. Davon would like to
just zoom in on his face and get rid of the stance, the shirt.
This man walked around the Big Brother All-Stars house going, "Was it you? Did you save me?"
Oh my God. But he wasn't the first boot then. Let's not forget.
I just don't even know what to say. I picked him. There.
He lost a competition in the season that he was the first boot, lost a competition against a field that you would not have expected him to lose a competition to necessarily. I mean, I'm just looking at like right directly in the face of Cliff Hogg, that you would have expected the older person to go out. But David found a way out. Well, not really, because then he had to stay for like 3 extra weeks, and we don't need to talk about it.
He's a nice person.
Okay.
This is not attacking. Yeah, him. I don't know him.
That's all I got. No, I'm just trying to, like I said with Will Mega, I was trying to come up with something nice. David's cool as a person.
All right, Matt.
Don't make me do another pick.
You have another pick. Who's it gonna be?
My team's locked in. You guys can take everything.
That's it. I'm done. Actually, give the rest to y'all.
No more picks.
No one else is allowed.
This is insane. It must be done. I guess, or a pick must be made. There are a lot of names left that are offensive to everybody, to just say their names. So I'm gonna go with one that is just he's a dummy, but he's a young dummy. And maybe the age played a factor into him being such a dummy. And also, it worked out because him going home allowed the season to continue on a pace where Taylor Hale won Big Brother, and Pooch is going to be my pick.
You ain't nothing but a clown dog. Call you Ronald McDonald. Yes, Pooya. Go in.
So, Pooch.
The least first boot feeling first boot, I think.
Yes.
Well, he was in there for a month before it happened.
Yes, I
about
mean
16 days.
Not to throw my own pick under the bus here, but he did volunteer to go up, thinking that all was going to be well, and right, he was next to Taylor, right? I think in the eviction vote, because the women were like fine with Taylor, not fine with her by any means. They were never fine, but they were at a point of just saying, well, maybe she's not this terrible monster that we thought she is. Maybe we can just hold on to her for one more week and send home this jerk who is thinking he's so smart by whatever. I don't know. Pooch
is also one of the other unanimous first boots here.
What a king.
I know. Do we think that I don't like this person, but if Paloma doesn't go home, does she run the house?
Until she decides not to, yeah.
Well,
that's what I mean.
I think you have to like cut it off before then, like before she starts like getting to a place where she needs to leave the house.
Oh, that's true too. Yes. Okay.
Could she have? Which I don't know. I mean, she was certainly doing well until she wasn't. But that's kind of, I think, what we were expecting. It just came a lot sooner than we thought.
Very, very quickly. But it was at the expense of Pooch here, and I am okay with him being known as the first boot because I have nothing good to say. I'm trying to find something, and I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. Isaiah wants the Us Weekly photo shoot.
Isaiah, stop the madness.
Isaiah, why don't you post it? You got it.
And you'll probably go a little viral anyway. Post it on Isaiah's Twitter.
Right.
Isaiah Pooch #1 stan. Make it known.
I literally don't know who left.
I mean, this man literally coined a phrase that was used for the rest of the season, and as far as we know, will continue to be used into the future. But he pooched himself, and yeah, I mean, maybe that's his best legacy. Who knows?
Sure.
All right. So that means I have 2 picks left. They're the final 2 picks for me.
Okay. I think.
And let's take a quick look at who's left on the board. We've got Mike Lubinsky, we've got Jacob, we've got Braden, David Girton, and Jace. Those are the remaining picks on the board. I think I have an easy one here. The Don himself. Mike Lubinsky.
You got my pick.
That's a good
one.
Went
over Mike Lubinsky.
So
the Don?
I just don't think anyone remembers him. I mean, I could be totally right because I didn't watch Big Brother at the time, but I was like, are people going to see that name and go, I know who that is?
I just feel like it's better to not be remembered than to be remembered for certain things. There are a couple of people on this list that are going to be remembered for certain things that I don't think they could ever be proud of. He can tell people he's on Big Brother and they would say, okay.
This man tried to go against the 4 horsemen.
That's true.
And they cut him down for it. Diane was in his corner, but it did not work out. It's Mike Lubinsky. He made a mark on season 5. It's just, it was a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
They don't call him the Don for nothing.
Maybe for nothing.
They kind of did.
Yeah, I was like, why do they call him? Who is they?
Jace.
Mike Lubinsky.
Mike Lubinsky.
All right. So that memes there are 4 players remaining: Jace, David Girton, Braden, and Jacob. I feel like at this point, this is kind of an easy pick for me. I think I have to go with Shelltown himself.
Oh, come on.
Jace.
You gotta let him fall to Sasha.
You should have let me have him. He should have been the last pick and came to me.
Look, Jace, Big Brother 17 was my first US season covering on RHAP, and Jace sitting down with Steve and telling him that everyone hated him. And like if the live feed updates had been a thing that would have been an all-timer of a live feed update. It was absolutely incredible. It was remains to this day one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen on the show. If you haven't seen it in its entirety, please look it up. I hope it's on YouTube. But absolutely ridiculous. The guy thought he was running the show like he was in Chilltown, and he called it Shelltown with none other than Judas himself, Austin, and ended up getting blindsided in the first week. I mean, it's iconic. It's definitely up there in terms of like memorably bad first boots. And apart from the interaction with Sasha, at least on the show, not overly problematic, which is a plus compared to the other players left in the trap.
Big facts. Big facts. I do remember Taryn covering this season as well. I remember it was my first season really tapping into Big Brother coverage on RHAP, and I was not a live feed watcher, and I didn't want to be spoiled, so I used to tap out before the spoiler section or whatever.
Yeah, same.
But I remember watching the first episode, and I distinctly said out loud, and all they did was a challenge. I said aloud, this person is going home first. Because even in the moments where the camera wasn't on him, he was so out of his body with just so much. He was so extra. And I said, he's going home first. Now, did I know for sure? Of course not. I wasn't keeping up with the feeds or anything like that, but it was just on the show. I was like, looking at the cast, who would I vote out? That guy. And, it
and
looks
you'd
like
be right.
Yeah, and it looks like he had a wild ride on the way out. But I don't have anything mean to say about him. Like, we've already had our differences on the internet.
Yeah, he's got his lashings. It's fine.
Yeah. It's even funnier to me, that conversation with Steve, the fact that Steve ends up winning the game. And also, I don't think I've ever said this before, but there's an alternate universe where I started making like little sketches about Big Brother based on what was happening on the feeds. And my first idea that I ultimately never did was to recreate the Jace and Steve conversation with the very almost newborn Kellis kitten playing the role of Steve, and me as Jace berating.
That's so cute. You should have. You need to get another kitten and do this.
I mean, I still have the kitten. He's just a little bit bigger now.
Yeah, true. Or Kellis with another kitten.
Yeah.
And they're having the conversation. The kitten telling Kellis, you've been replaced. No one likes you. Oh, poor
Kellis. Maybe Kellis can be telling Grogu, a little baby Yoda in the back.
I'm the captain now.
All right. So those are going to be my two picks, which means, Matt, you have your final pick between David Girton, Brayden, and Jacob.
This is like painful.
Oh, God.
Having to let one of these
so funny.
three names.
I feel like there's a couple of different ways you can pick. There's one pick that's like, this is potentially the best player. There's one pick that like is like, this person is maybe the least problematic, or at least
that's possible. Yeah,
right. Or at least like won't be as immediately hated. And then I'm not sure what the third pick is, but it's certainly not Brayden.
Damn it, he's coming to me. You should have let me have Jace for the lashings.
I don't know what to do here. There is certainly, I'm like, I mean, obviously I don't have any picks left after this, so what's the difference if I just let you in on my thoughts? Like picking the BB9 person who like maybe hopefully people just don't remember like that. Like you said, Chappelle,
It's a
like,
strategy.
right?
It is.
Like no one's going back to watch before that.
That's true.
Before casting their votes here. But that man sucks. He really, really sucked.
Man, come on. Come on. They all do.
That's fine. Don't pick him.
They all
Pick the
do.
other ones.
I think I'm going to have to take David Girton.
David
Aaron's
Girton.
boyfriend.
These three men are all trash. And here I stand picking the one who they both no, like two of them got like a couple of votes to stay. So I can't even say that. I don't know why I'm picking. I just picked one.
I mean, to be fair, in terms of like game prowess, right? Like David was kind of screwed by the MVP twist.
He was,
you know, and certainly had his fair share of allies, and if not for the MVP twist and everything breaking the way it did, probably sticks around for a little while longer. Which is not to say that he is a good player by any means from what we saw, but you know, could certainly have stuck around a la a Corey or something along those lines. Like, famously, one of the only things I remember about David from Big Brother 15 was on the feeds was a lengthy conversation slash argument with Aaron about their relationship and how fast it had gone. Yeah, that's what I remember about David Girton.
Imagine being linked to Aaron being the thing you're known for. Sorry.
there's something to be said about being the first person out of that season.
Season.
And getting out of that house.
And being targeted by your allies.
But he still managed to get in there with some shots in a bad way. Like
exactly.
I remember
and
him
he was dating
said,
racist number one. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I think he's not far from racist number one himself. I remember black ass Candace made his sheets dirty. Okay.
Oh, that's true. That was him.
I'm sorry. Black Candace made his sheets dirty. I don't want to editorialize here, but why? Why, David? Why'd you say that?
See, this is what I know I'd be the first boot. Because if I heard anything like this,
I'm out the door.
Would, like burn all their clothes.
Give me the knife.
Well, hey, on Big Brother 15, he was the first boot, so.
As he should have been.
There you go.
That's not saying much at all.
All right, so about these other two picks.
All right. Chappelle, you now have the choice
we know
between Brayden and Jacob.
I'm picking Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob is awful. Awful. He's so bad that his quote unquote soulmate was like, nah, he can go. And, you know, like that guy sucks. But I cannot be left with Brayden. Sorry. Sorry. It ain't happening.
Yes, I think Jacob of the remaining guys was the choice, mostly because I think people won't remember him enough. If you don't remember Jacob from season 9, he famously was on the cast with his ex-girlfriend Shannon, who he was the cause of their breakup after 13 years. He cheated on her. And that was why they were exes. She saw him and basically had a panic attack. Then got teamed up with him on the season. Was locked into a team with him. And how season 9 went was the first competition allowed one of the couples to had the sole ability to remove another couple from the game. It was close to a night 1 eviction, but it was a day 3 eviction. And basically they just chose, it was like if Dan had a couple of days to choose who he wanted to eliminate from the game. And in those 3 days, there was a very obvious gimme pick in Adam and Sheila, because she had cried about being paired up with Adam because he was so ugly. And that was causing a lot of negativity. And then also Adam had, in those 3 days, also managed to defend his use of the R word. And it was a big thing. Everyone was saying, just get rid of this guy, get rid of this couple. It was very obvious. And yet, in those 3 days, Jacob managed to get himself and his ex-girlfriend eliminated from the game by talking smack on Parker to Jen, his partner, his couple partner, saying that Parker was a snake. And these are the two people that are in control of the sole control of who leaves the game. And he said to the partner of this person, yeah, he's a snake. When called out by it, there was an entire house meeting and everyone was like, all right, who said it, Jacob? If it wasn't you, who are you saying said it? And he was like, why do I have to say?
This man is awful, but he ain't the last pick. He's just not.
That's true.
We also don't give Sheila enough credit because Sheila was in tears saying, please get Adam out the house. And Adam is a literal drug dealer. A literal, like the DEA was going to put him on house arrest.
Right? Eventually.
No, probably before. The DEA wanted to, they were going to put him on house arrest after leaving the Big Brother house. He was already on house arrest. That's how bad that guy is. He ended up going to jail for a bunch of times. And this guy still went home first. He's awful. This guy sucks. But he ain't last.
It's not last.
Sasha, who do you pick?
Oh, wow.
Yes. The person in last. So Sasha, who would you like to choose to be on your
the board, Taryn?
I would like to pick Teddy Mellencamp.
I would have liked Sticker rounds ago.
Let's take a look at the options available to Sasha.
I feel that this is a hate crime.
Literally.
So, as the only woman and a woman of color on this panel, I feel that I should be not getting a mega flaming racist, and instead I should get Cornbread, Anthony Scaramucci, and Teddy Mellencamp.
Take the guy with the knife. I'm just saying. There were
Yeah,
better
that's
options.
fine. We don't kink shame.
Exactly.
Listen, the point is, I can't believe that hate crime me again, I guess.
Can you believe he's the only first boot to manage to tie up a vote?
Yeah, because his voters were Jeff and Jordan.
And like,
friends.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. That's good.
Yeah, I can't even believe this wasn't my only option, and I'm pissed, but it's fine, I guess.
How's this?
Big
So
brother
we
loves
talked about Jody. We asked, is Jody the most screwed over player of all time?
It's Sasha.
Is Brayden the most racist?
Absolutely
It's hard.
not.
It's
but
hard to be the most racist and you go home first when they're Big Brother 15. They were jockeying for position. Okay, like Black Candace in her bed. They called her Shaniqua. They flipped her bed over. You know, he didn't get enough time.
Called her
but he did the
ghetto. Are you
damage.
kidding me? And
He did the
let's not
damage.
forget Jackson, please.
Yeah. Oh yes. We really don't have enough time. That's what our next. We're gonna draft the most racist. in
Can
Big Brother
I be
15.
on
Really
that
time.
one?
Yeah.
Then I think I can win.
Let's reassemble the panel. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Damn, get
Let's
ready.
do it. It
Get
should be yeah.
Big Brother players.
Correct. Oh my god, I think I could win that. I really have a great chance.
Listen, we pulling receipts, baby. We checking lists and everything.
Yeah, because I feel look at how he even looks, right? Why are you
just wanna,
pouting? Like,
hit
is it
him.
because he's like, oh, I'm about to slur you left and right, so let me close
I
my
came here to
mouth.
slur. He
Yeah,
came to
like
slur,
literally,
baby.
like man
Slur
is
the
like
house
the
down.
original duck lips.
Yeah, slur
Stop
the
the
house down.
madness.
Yeah.
And he's pissed probably because there were people of color in that room. That's why
Bro.
he's pissed off.
I was gonna say
Who
last
was the one
scene
that
at the
was throwing
Capitol.
drinks? Was that him too? Or
I
He
don't
probably
remember.
was at the
yeah,
Capitol.
he
We
threw
don't
a drink
know.
on
He was at
Kevin,
the
according
Capitol.
to my notes.
He
Yeah,
threw
he
a
did.
drink on which Kevin?
Kevin Campbell.
Oh right. Mm.
A person of color, obviously.
Yeah. Just the thing is, like, if he does come on to my team, like, I wish I could at least have a conversation
Oh yeah.
with him. You know, how fun would that?
You know where to find these first boots. They're out there.
They find me. Let's be very clear.
They're clan rallies.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
just
sorry, this one
can't.
is.
I just feel like I will for sure lose this draft now.
It's really tough. See,
And this
Sasha,
sucks.
the most important decision of this draft was the draft order. At the
Yeah.
very beginning, I knew I needed somebody really good, but I also could not have him, and so that's why I went second and not first.
Well, I didn't have
the
an option.
breaks.
Listen, this is why I'm not a super fan.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. I think
Oh,
I think the voting so far has been pretty top heavy in terms of like people seeing their favorites on top and then being like, all right, and kind of
I can deal
ignoring the
with that.
bottom for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
But
Give
we'll
me
see.
cornbread.
Please, just don't even
God
put the
damn
bottom of the
it.
graphic at this point.
All right. Well,
Just eliminate the
here's
last.
the full graphic.
That bottom row.
No,
is
I feel
nasty
like
to be
Two
had
bottom
here.
rows can both go. Like, just
No,
No,
Taryn
that's fine.
Taryn actually did decent with his last pick.
Yeah,
I
Taryn
feel
did
like I had a slow start, but I feel like I didn't dip too low.
Amanda, has brought you back. Amanda onward.
Yeah, you had a good run at the end, Taryn. I'm not bad
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
So
I
I mean,
couldn't
I
pull
guess
that
that'll
off.
be a good test of how the voting works because I
think
don't have a
Chappelle
flashy
wins 'cause
start.
I have Brayden. Or I feel like I had a chance.
Sasha,
off of
you
memes.
got Keisha, and that's gonna do a lot for your picks.
I thought I had like a meme chance, but it's a wrap for me.
Man,
Sasha,
nasty
do you
business.
want to win with Brayden?
Yes, I would. And what?
Right? Like, dear
I want
God.
to be clear. Winning is the most important. If like if I was on Big Brother and 7 racists wanted to work with me and be like, we'll
Sasha's in the
tokenize
alliance.
you,
Yeah,
taking you to the end. Baby,
she's Andy
I'm
Herring her way
winning.
to the end. She gonna take that game in a heartbeat.
All
The
right,
point
well,
is, I will win.
here are the teams. Sasha has Keisha, Summer of Steve 2018, Joey, Will Mega, and Brayden.
Oh my God. 8 Ball Bangers is really going against me. Like, let's fight. I thought we were friends.
You know he ain't
So
loyal.
let me see you in person ever again.
Chappelle has Jody, Cameron, Lori, Ashlea, David Alexander, and Jacob. How do you feel about that team?
I really this Jacob thing is hard to hold, but I really do like I think the Ashlea pick is really where I did my best work. I was surprised that I had to pull that one out of my hat, but I'm fine with the team overall.
I feel like it's a pretty strong team. Obviously, Jacob to hold you down, but like I said, I don't know if enough people remember Jacob.
No, I think you're fine.
And
to
I think
pull him-
it's going to
yeah.
determine how much weight Lori can pull. Like if people really respect that Lori moment, because that's for me, that's a very important pick. She's one of my favorites, and everybody might not see it the way I see it.
Top heavy with the like screwed over players in Jody and Cameron, though. I think that's going to get you a lot of votes.
Let's see. We'll see.
Matt has Allison, Annie, Cheryl, Travis, Pooch, and David Gurton. This one feels like it starts very strong and then falls off a cliff.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole board.
I think
Pooch and
Pooch
Gurton
should not
combo.
have been. I think Pooch is way too high.
I feel like you missed out on the Don. I think the Don would have made a much
I
stronger
think the
team.
Don would have been like you had the
Even
least
Jace.
racist team.
I really
even
that
Jace
might be my
wouldn't have
big
been
regret
bad.
looking back. I wasn't picking Jace. He was. I probably would have picked David Gurton before Jace.
Yeah, Jace
still.
should have come to me. Let's just be clear.
Here's part of the problem too. I think that like the Taylor fans are not gonna be on board with a Pooch team.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Taylor
let's just
stands
hope
come
that the
to me.
Taylor stands have some love for Allison, Annie, shit. Like that's a good start. Let's just look at that.
I have love for Annie. Yeah, Allison gonna have to carry a team on the back, and maybe they'll think Cheryl Braxton is a R&B singer like I do. Like, oh yeah, Tamar, that's her. Tamar Cheryl Braxton.
Is that why Tamar was on Celebrity Big Brother?
Yeah,
Because
Tamar,
Cheryl, her
Braxton.
cousin, was on. Oh.
They know each other.
All right, and my team is Brian Hart, Keith, Amanda, Carol, Mike Lubinsky, the Don, and Jace. I like my team. I feel pretty good about my team.
I
It's
think
like I don't.
your team
killing
is
me.
super fans.
I think
Yeah.
I don't think my team's gonna win the vote, but I'm happy with it. I feel
I
like
think Chappelle wins the vote,
It's
unfortunately.
the Keith
but...
pick that's really throwing me with you, Taryn, because it's
No, it's so good.
The Keith pick is my finest work in the same way that your Ashley pick is your finest.
Yeah, the Ashley was like, I was like, yes, I did the things right there. I see you.
I agree. Just like Joey Rodriguez.
Can we sub in Keith Henderson for Keith's Angels?
Just the whole group.
Keith's Angels, I would like to have as my.
I would like to have the Angels.
I just want people to like know the chaos behind this. You know, I feel like it's not giving the chaos that we just went through. That's my problem.
This was hell, but I had such a good time. Thank y'all for having me.
I know. This really was. It was so ridiculous.
Would the celebrities have helped? I mean, they would have helped. Anybody would have helped, but I really was looking forward to taking Teddy Mellencamp and reflecting on what could have been there.
Who were all the options for first boots for the celebrities?
Teddy Mellencamp, Scaramucci. Well, Scaramucci doesn't count.
It wouldn't have been.
Aaron Samuels, aka Jonathan Bennett.
I think I would have. I think Scaramucci. I think we would have put Scaramucci.
Oh, perfect. I would have picked Scaramucci as well.
Scaramucci is the top pick, I think.
Yeah, and then
so.
Chuck,
Chuck if you include celebrity, you also have to include OTT. So then you've also got Cornbread.
Which I would have picked over most of the last round.
Thank you. I'm saying I should get Cornbread because I got a racist.
I'd have picked Chuck Liddell. Yeah, okay, would have been fine. We'd have okay, yeah.
That man,
yeah.
I was looking back on
should have
OTT.
gotten Cornbread.
And Cornbread, like, I mean, obviously you remember him for the last 2 words out of his mouth on the way out. If not for that, I might have had him higher on the board, but that's certainly, whatever.
If not for that, you mean
racist.
You mean if not for that, he wouldn't have been anywhere. That is his whole thing.
That's his legacy at this point. Yeah. But
I don't know. Cornbread, it's entirely because you want F y'all.
Yeah, maybe just looking at potential if these people. I didn't know what the prompt was going to be. I was guessing.
Oh my god!
The prompt essentially is whatever his best first boots.
It was a vibes draft.
Yeah.
Oh god!
If you could put one of these players in any Big Brother game, who do you think?
Stop
it!
it!
Stop it! Keisha. The answer's Keisha.
All I'm saying is my team was the best, and racism ruined it, just like Big Brother does.
Just like Big Brother.
Just like Big Brother casting, I had to cast one racist. Everyone, please understand.
Oh boy. Well, that is what we have for you now. I believe the poll is on Twitter. So you can go and cast your vote for your favorite team of first boots. And that's about it. Let me see if I can find do we have a preliminary results already. I can tell you that next week we will be back. It's going to be a big one. We will be drafting the best non-winners of Big Brother. We are opening up the field. You can choose any Big Brother player from the history of the show as long as they are not a winner, and craft your team to create the best one possible. And for that draft, Rob Sesternino will be joining us.
Yay!
To draft his own team. How could we not, as the smartest Survivor player to never win? At least once upon a time.
That's
so going to be one player from this draft on that draft. I hope so.
It's Summer of Steve.
Yeah,
Summer of Steve 2018.
Oh, God.
Number 1 pick on the board. I don't even remember which number my team is.
You're 4.
You're 4.
My team is 4. Okay. I'm currently in last place.
I think strong start.
Sasha currently in first. Look at that.
Yeah, but Chappelle will tweet. Chappelle's people will get him. Ugh. Listen, if you want underdogs to win, you should vote for me.
Jody is the ultimate underdog. Let's vote for Jody.
No, Jody's a queen. How dare you ruin her name like this? Besmirching her name.
Okay, well, this was a fun time. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to the audience for joining us on the first draft. The first draft boot.
It is the only one that counts. Yes.
You can of course find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taryn Armstrong, hanging out, playing some games. I've been speedrunning the game Only Up, I've been playing some Goose Goose Duck. I've been watching some Jet Lag, and just talking about things. It's a good time over there. Again, we'll be back next week with the non-winner draft with Rob, and you can check out the Survivor Brant Steele that we did over on Tuesday night. We had a fun time there. Chappelle and I are, in fact, still beefing about it, but it's fine.
I still talk too damn much, Taryn. I'm sorry.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I gave you a word count limit on this podcast, and you have far exceeded it already.
Disagreement, Taryn, please. And I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk it out. That's all.
So yes, check that all of that out. Sasha, what have you got going on?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at funsize_04 to see everything I'm up to. Over on the Mess Magnets feed, Kirsten McInnes and I cover hot topics, celebrity mess, pop culture, and everything in between. So check that out on Mess Magnets. And I cover with Rob Below Deck, where honestly it is it's all the hookups you missed at Big Brother, plus more, and rich people just acting a fool. But this week Chappelle joined me because Rob was away, so I was joined, with lots of mess. NSFW podcast, obviously. So please, don't listen to it with kids around. That's all. And over on post show recaps, I'm covering Secret Invasion with Jason Reed. So check that out as well on Everything is Super feed. And Never Have I Ever will be coming out on Silent Podcast soon with Chappelle and I. So check all of that out and vote for team number 1, baby.
All right, Chappelle, how about you?
She was doing so well, and then she just flopped at the end. Yes, as Sasha said, I joined her on the Below Deck, the Big Deck Energy podcast, in place of Rob this week, and it was a great time. But also, it got dirty. So check that out on your own time. Keep your parents and your kids away because it got kind of bad. And then of course, Sasha, as she said, Silent Podcast. We're doing Never Have I Ever, the final season. So check that out whenever we decide to record. On post show recaps, I'm talking about The Walking Dead, baby. Dead City is going on, and it is a great time. And then me, AJ Mass, Josh Wigler, and Jessica Lisa are all still covering it. So check that out. It's the end of the month, so I should be having some Grey's Anatomy coverage coming on post show recaps as well. Myself and Ariel are doing one Grey's podcast a month. And since it's the off season, we're probably going to do a deep dive into one of Grey's favorite characters. So check that out. And then over on my podcast with Rob Cesternino, Nothing But Netflix, we recently talked about Black Mirror. It was my first time watching Black Mirror. And so I got into all of my feelings about that. And then this week, we are talking about American Gladiator with our special guest, Grace Leader. And so check us out on Nothing But Netflix. Subscribe to Nothing But Netflix and follow me on Twitter at Chappelle's_show and vote for team number 2.
What was your favorite Black Mirror episode, Chappelle?
I like the first episode.
The first one?
The national anthem, please.
The national anthem?
I have not laughed that hard in my life. I laughed for 47 minutes after it was over. I'm still laughing about that. So yeah,
that's the episode that I had to tell people to skip when I was recommending Black Mirror back in the day.
Look, Mike Bloom was our guest, and he said, Chappelle, just skip episode 1 and come back to it later. And Rob says, Chappelle, watch episode 1. And he was right. I had a great laugh. So yeah. Tune into Nothing But Netflix for more of my thoughts on that.
Yes, truly. Matt, how about you?
Not much at the moment, waiting for obviously Big Brother to start. So whenever that does get underway in half a summer from now, hopefully, be around, popping in and out for some BB25, right? That's what we're up to. And then also waiting for the challenge to get back underway, which it's currently in a break, which is very uncommon, but it will be back later this summer. I believe USA season 2 is coming out first, which is the one that has Big Brother and Survivor alumni on it. So we'll be covering that with Brian Scally over on the Dom and Colin podcast. And, whatever else challenges pop up as they just constantly film and sometimes air.
All right. Well, that is what we have for you tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see all of you next time.